Court is calling 2024 CR 0176, State of Texas versus Arturo Villanueva. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Sademan.
Defense?
Daniel Vela.
And are you Mr. Villanueva? You're gonna need to speak up.
Arturo Villanueva.
Yes, is that you?
Yes.
Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villanueva, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. Waiving count two. No objection.
And are you waiving the deadly weapon allegation or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
And then you're proceeding on counts 1, paragraph A and B?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with failure to stop and render aid resulting in injury or death? And they are charging this as a hybrid. So you're looking at up to 5 years. You're looking,
It's odd, but I copied it directly out of the transportation code for that offense.
okay, let me just see. Because sometimes with the hybrids, if you don't have the hybrids on a daily basis. All right, is it 5 years in the county jail?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so,
Hybrid should read, it's 5 years, PDC.
okay.
Your Honor.
Okay.
I have it right here if you'd like to view it.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Because in the,
Got it correct. Huh?
yes.
Confinement in county jail for not more than one.
Semantics is-
it's-
I read it like you did, Judge, but
Okay,
it does say Texas TDC for not more than 5 years, and then county jail not more than 1 year.
okay. See, it seemed a little bit.
Right, it did,
Literally
yeah.
how it's written.
All right, so I need somebody to write them, to tell them they need to write that better than what they've done. But, okay, thank you.
I do not volunteer.
All right. All right. Okay, we're back on the record. So that's a hybrid. So you could serve up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to 5 years in the prison. And it's up to a $5,000 fine. Do you understand? All right. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I could sentence you potentially up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail or up to 5 years in the prison and up to a $5,000 fine?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Counsel, did you have an opportunity to consult with your client about the ramifications of entering a plea as it relates to his citizenship or ability to remain in the United States?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. In addition, at the beginning of this case, when I first got hired back in 2023, I believe, I referred him to an immigration lawyer. They did contact that lawyer. They did advise them on the possible ramifications of this case on this matter.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Villanueva, did you have a chance to speak with an immigration attorney?
Yes.
And were you able to confer with them about the impact any plea for this charge would have on your immigration status? All right. And did you understand the impact that a plea in this case will have on your immigration status? Do you understand that you could potentially be deported?
Yes.
Do you understand that you could be denied re-entry into the United States? Did you understand that you could be denied citizenship? All right, court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution. Do we have a name for who the restitution should be to?
Christian Ramirez. When the court's ready, I have one thing that the state and I talked about regarding restitution that I'd like to address with the court.
Right. And do we have an amount for restitution or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding the restitution, we don't have an amount. We would like to, we conferred with the state regarding this. We'd like a restitution hearing regarding that.
Okay. But other than that, is that your understanding of the plea?
It is.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be no contact with the complaining witness. There be anger management. And they're saying that you can attend virtually where available. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged in count 1, paragraph A and B, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I've got
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. I'm going to reset this for sentencing with the restitution hearing. State, how much time do you need for this restitution hearing?
You mean how much time do we need to prepare or how long do
Yes.
we think it lasts? 30 days?
All right, so are you requesting a PSI or no?
We don't need a PSI, Your Honor.
All right, so probation, what I am going to request is I'll request the TAP evaluation. And is 30 days enough time? Probation?
Judge's gonna have 5 days.
All right. So if you can recall this, Ms. Ferguson, let's do 45 days. That'll give everyone enough time and we'll have the restitution on that day and I'll sentence you on that day. What date? All right, so on February 27th, what will end up happening is you will have had your TAP evaluation. I'll get a chance to review that. And then both parties will be prepared for a restitution hearing.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Ahmad Brown. All right, come down. Who's the attorney for Ahmad Brown? I'm sorry, Ahmad Brown. Oh,
No, you said it right.
I did it. I said it right the first time. Okay. All right, so where are we on this case? And is this the only case he has?
Yes. So he has 2 indicted cases in this court. He does have one that is awaiting indictment. There's still discovery pending on that, but I did tender an offer to Mr. Ross to resolve all of those cases. And in regards to the 2 indicted cases, we have tendered all of the discovery in those cases.
Okay. I only have, where's this other indicted case? I don't have the docket sheet for that. On Brown? I have the 615. I don't have the 616. All right, so how old are you, sir?
31.
All right, how much time do you need for plea deadline date, counsel?
Maybe 30 days. He's indicated he may want to hire a lawyer, but 30 days. I have the discovery acknowledgements here signed. I'm gonna turn those in for those 2 cases.
All right, thank you. All right, I need a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date, please. All right, so we're going to come back on February 13th. If you wish to have a new attorney, then you'll need that attorney present on February 13th. You understand? And your plea deadline date is on February 13th, so you'll need to let the court know whether or not you all have reached an agreement. If you have not reached an agreement, your next setting will be a trial setting. Do you understand? Any questions? All right, thank you.
Oh, the indictments.
Yes,
You didn't get, am I indicted still or not?
you're indicted in 2 cases. Have you received those indictments?
I received them yet.
All right, could you print out 2 of the 2 indictments for him? We'll make sure you have that before you leave.
And myself, I have myself on the SAPD.
All right, with regards to your cell phone, you need to speak to your attorney. He'll file a motion requesting that I receive that. What I can tell you, if the cell phone is somehow related to your case, the state may not agree to it and we'll need to have a hearing and I'll make a decision on whether or not that should be returned.
And more than likely, they won't return it till the case is resolved. Is that correct?
Yes. If it's something that they took into custody when you were arrested, maybe they're going to seek to have a search warrant with regards to information that's on the cell phone. I have no idea. but normally they don't release that.
Okay.
All right, but we can always have a hearing on it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Juan Perez? Who's the attorney for Juan Perez?
Mr. Sullivan, Your
All
Honor.
right, Mr. Perez, come down. All right, on this case, where are we on discovery?
I have the discovery.
All right, state, were you able to tender an offer? All right, sir, how old are you?
41.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please.
And he doesn't, we have no agreement yet, but I'll be ready to, should I be ready to go to trial that day? Court says
Well,
yes,
what's going
I
to end
will.
up happening is that on that day, he needs to let me know whether or not he is accepting the state's offer. And then after that date, if there's no agreement that has been worked out, a jury trial will be set. What date? All right, February 3rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and Deputy Laura on James Ross. The bondsman filed an affidavit to surrender surety, I believe. Yaya would have it. Yes, I don't know where his attorney is. No, let's wait for his attorney. Norma, could you see where Mr. Sawyer is? Who's here on Jason Bustos? All right, this is an application.
It is for deferred.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 6690, State of Texas versus Jason Bustos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Galloway for the state.
Defense.
Ron Ross for defense.
And are you Mr. Bustos?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1. Punishments be assessed at 6 years in the prison. All right, let's go off the record. States you're opposed to deferred?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Cause he's not eligible for community supervision, so
So,
did I do it wrong on the paper?
no. I mean, it's, so, this is an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. So if y'all could just check that for me.
Okay.
All right, so, Mr. Bustos, as part of your plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding with a deadly weapon allegation. You're charged with you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So if from reading, the stipulations that may be accepted into the record, if I find that a weapon is used, then there will be an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
The state is opposed to your application for deferred adjudication. So according to your plea bargain agreement, if I don't grant your application for deferred adjudication, the most time I could sentence you to would be 6 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And the other thing they're asking for is they're asking for restitution to the complainant and they're asking for a $2,000 fine. Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement? Defense is at the plea?
It is, Judge.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
And outside the agreement, the state is requesting no contact with the complainant. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
All right. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you requesting a PSI?
We are, Judge.
All right. Is there a need for a TAP evaluation?
I don't think there's a need, but
All right, we'll do a TAP evaluation. Mr. Bustos, is there any mental health issues?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, PSI and TAP evaluation. And probation, this will be PSI and TAP. And counsel, I'm sorry, I need the trial court certification back. Thank you. All right, March 3rd, counsel?
That's good, that's fine.
Okay. All right, do you have any questions? All right, then you will be excused. Probation will come visit you. All right, Deputy Laura, on James Ross Jr.
He's up here.
All right, Mr. Ross, your bondsman filed an affidavit to surrender surety. So your bondsman got off your bond? What we'll do is we'll see if we can get Mr. Sawyer to come back to speak.
There's a case or something?
No, your bondsman, and I'll have to have them pull the report, but usually bondsman will file it when they think you're not going to show up. No, I mean, that's your contract with the bondsman, so I don't interfere with that. The only thing I receive is documents from them in the form of an affidavit stating either they want to continue on your bond or they don't. You'll need to discuss that with your attorney and he'll need to discuss that with the bondsman. All right, that's something you'll have to discuss with your attorney, with your bondsman. There's nothing I can do with that. Your bondsman filed it. Can you make a copy of the affidavit to surrender surety? They'll give you a copy of it. They'll give you a copy of it. Oh, you can have a seat, sir. All right, and then Deputy Laura, after the other deputies comes back, we'll speak to them in the hallway.
I have one more question.
Sure.
If they like said they don't want it anymore, do I get my money back?
Oh, that's a contract between you and your bondsman. You have to speak to the bondsman about that. I have no jurisdiction over your contract with the bondsman because that's more of a civil matter, not a criminal matter. Are they ready? Okay. All right, just give us one moment. We're waiting for the other deputy to return and then I'll take that up. But Sean, did you watch General Hospital growing up?
Yes, sir.
Monica Quartermain. Yes. Yeah. You know, I'm like, and then Lila Quartermain, Bobby the nurse. So you'll need to talk to your attorney. There's nothing more I can do for you. You have a warrant for your arrest because of the bondsman. The bondsman no longer wants to be on your bond. So there's a warrant for you, and that's with the bondsman. And there's nothing I can do about that because that's a contract with the bondsman. Whenever you're placed on a bond, what ends up happening is, let's say your bond is $8,000. You'll go to a bondsman and the bondsman will say, I will be on the hook or responsible for that entire $8,000 amount if you give me $800. Well, what ends up happening, sometimes if you pick up a new case, if the bondsman has a contract with you and the bondsman says you're supposed to call in every day, or maybe there are some collateral people who's saying, you know what, he's not showing up. Then the bondsman can file an affidavit saying, we no longer want to be on your bond, and this is the reason why we don't want to be on your bond. And once they file that, the court reviews it, and if it appears in proper order, the court will sign it. And then what ends up happening, you no longer have a bond with that bondsman, and you need to go make a bond. I have no control over that. That's between you and your bondsman. I don't have a contract with him. That contract with the bondsman is between you and the bondsman. The only contract the bondsman really has with the court system is that if this person that I am vouching for doesn't show up, I will pay this $8,000. So there's nothing else I can do. So there's nothing else I can say to help you. All right, Deputy Laura, let's want to go outside to speak. All right, Morrison. And did you have a chance to reach out to Herman?
Yes, do so.
All right.
Like for today, you're on. No.
All right, because what I want to know is what contact they would have for him with regards to treatment. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, Mr. Morrison, just give us a moment and we'll take you up, okay?
Okay.
Ernest Flores? All right, where are we on discovery? Because the last time there were some issues with photos.
Judge, there was a dismissal submitted.
Oh, why do I have this?
I think it's attached.
This is what they give me?
Yeah, I touched the back.
Ah, you were like, wait a minute. And he's standing there. I know my attorney told me not to say anything, so I don't know why this isn't being dismissed. All right, how old are you?
20.
All right, so I don't know anything about this case. The state is saying they're dismissing it for further investigation.
Okay.
So whatever brought you here today, make sure you don't come back for this. You understand?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
You're 20, you have your whole life ahead of you. There you are.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May we be excused?
Yes. Ulisses Benitez. Hello. So the state was to tender an offer today. Were they able to tender an offer?
We spoke about it, Judge,
Mhm.
and they're getting ready to do that. I explained to them that what I'm trying to do is see if they will be open to dismissing the new case,
Mhm.
which we have had no discovery yet because he is not indicted, and it's a brand new case. It's like a couple of months old.
All right, which
So-
case is, let me see, what page is he on? Benitez, found it. So is that the drug case?
Yes, they're both drug cases, Judge, his old one and his new one.
All right. So state, how much time are you asking? Because I know the new case is out there.
Just for the record, I'm the one that was asking for a little bit more time to look at the new one.
All right,
30 days would be sufficient for the state, Your Honor.
all right, 30 days.
More than enough, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Benitez? And if your attorney wants you back sooner than 30 days, he can let us know.
Yes, and that's what I told him, and I think we're about to work something out, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, we'll come back on February 13th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
May I be
welcome. Have a good
excused?
one. Yes.
We're ready on.
All right, Dylan Skinner.
KOLB, I had some motions. The case is not here. But I gave some.
So I
Three
don't know.
motions, modified condition of motion.
All right, council, last time we were here, there was an issue with the flash drive.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, where are we?
Well, unfortunately, and it's my fault, I didn't give them the flash drive. I just got off my calendar. I spoke to them this morning. I'll bring them on tomorrow. They said that they could get it to me within a few days. I was gonna suggest if the court would allow me to reset it for the 27th, which is 2 weeks. I'll review with my client and then I'll be ready.
All right, Norma, are we able to recall this for January 27th? All right, we'll bring you back on January 27th. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. All right, sorry, just one moment, counsel. Because he's from another court, let me take this up first with Mr. Morrison, and then I'll do Soriano. And then, but after this, if you'll let them know to put your file back up here. All right, and then I'll take yours after Soriano. Welcome. Court is calling 2023 CR 4707, State of Texas versus Christopher Morrison. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway from State.
Defense.
Shannon Locke for Christopher Morrison.
And are you Christopher Morrison?
Yes, I am.
All right. Could somebody increase the volume for
The
him?
system is, Judge,
The system is,
it's held together, Judge. But you
All
can say it
right.
on that.
all right. So does everybody agree that the person on the video is Christopher Morrison?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Morrison, are you able to chat with the court?
Yes,
There's a
ma'am.
problem with our system.
Yes.
Of
Yes,
course, we can't
I
hear you.
can- Okay.
All right, so any objection to Mr. Morrison responding by chat if he's needed to respond from the state defense?
Not from the defendant, Your Honor.
And Mr. Morrison, do you have any objection to appearing by video? All right. All right, so Mr. Morrison was found guilty, and I believe both parties were in agreement that it was not the intent for the state to have him go to prison. Is that correct? All right, so the court remembers everything from the jury trial and the evidence that was presented. My understanding is that Mr. Morrison was in the military.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And what branch was that?
He was in the Army, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and so we have someone here for Veterans Treatment Court, and the reason why he wasn't able to be in Veterans Treatment Court in Bear County is because he doesn't live in Bear County. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So, Herman,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any insight to give to the court
Your Honor-
as far as conditions?
So, Your Honor, we did go ahead after last time we were up here. We did find a veterans treatment court up where he lives that covers a couple different counties. We have provided that information and the point of contact after we made a call. They are willing to screen him and evaluate him and connect him. We'll keep him connected with the VA up there. He is going to the VA. I'm blanking. I apologize. I don't want to say Lexington, but the closest VA next to him. So he is active there. I would encourage him, as we talked last time I saw him, to continue with his treatment. And then if he gets into VTC, which there shouldn't be an issue with him getting in, he does qualify. They'll set him up with alcohol, drug management, as well as anger management, whatever he may need coming up in his assessment.
All right. And do you have contact with the VTC there?
So we do, as in Jackie Estefan is the point of contact that we received going through our network through the VA and everything else. We spoke to them, and our VGO actually is the one who led the charge on that one. So in contact is, and if we call, they'll answer, they'll communicate with us. It's the best way I can explain it.
So our request of a referral to their VTC, of course, he's going to have to make sure that he applies. It cannot be that, oh, I just decided I don't want to do it. They would have to reject him for the court not to have him VTC. Now, let's talk about the underlying sentence.
Yes. Judge.
What are you all requesting?
We are requesting the underlying sentence to be 1 year Bear County jail.
Well, Your Honor, so we would ask for a probationary sentence.
Well, no, here's the thing. I'm going to give him probation. But as you all know, I have a length of probation to give him, plus there's an underlying sentence. So the state is asking that his underlying sentence be 1 year. So if he were unsuccessful, he's looking at 1 year. Of course, it's the court's decision.
Yes, sir.
Since he's come to me for punishment, but I would like to hear your argument on what you believe the underlying sentence should be.
So he's been participating in these veterans treatment options for the past 2 years. He's gotten himself into a stable situation. I think that the court's purposes could be served with a year of probation, Your Honor, and then it could be extended if he's not participating or not successfully completing. But he's been successfully completing. He's established himself with the veterans community out in Indiana. And Your Honor, we think that the probation is going to be good to reinforce that and give him some structure for that, but I don't think it needs to be longer than a year.
All right, so the underlying will be 1 year. And for the length of probation?
So we would ask that it be suspended for 2 years. Sir.
All right, so what I'll do is 1 year suspended and probated for 18 months. I will allow the transfer to, he says he's in Owensboro, Owensboro, Kentucky. Mr. Morrison, if you could put in what county that is for us. Oh, he says he lives in Indiana.
He does.
All right, so why do I have Owensboro, Kentucky?
That is where
He's attending the
VA.
VA. All right.
So it's kind of the best way to explain is like Kendall and Escoto, all those surrounding counties of us. They have to travel a little bit to go to the VA and to court.
Ah, thank you. So what county is that, Mr. Morrison? So then, Ms. Abrams, it'll be a transfer to Indiana?
Indiana?
Yes,
Kentucky.
not Kentucky. And can you tell me what county is it in Indiana as well? All right, it's Perry, Perry County. And I'm going to ask for a referral to the VTC in that county. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Anger management. 100 hours of community service restitution. Proof of employment within 45 days, or if he is not employed, or what is he doing?
He's going to school right now, Your Honor.
All right, are you in school full-time, Mr. Morrison? All right, I'm going to do proof of employment within 45 days. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. If you're in school full-time, you'll let, he works part-time as well. All right, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Continued treatment with VA. No contact with the complainants. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
State, is there anything else?
Judge, would just ask you to the evidence and the nature of the offense of prohibited possession of firearms during the term of probation.
All right, there should be no possession of firearms. And when I say firearms, that includes your BB guns, all of it. Do you understand, Mr. Morrison? All right. All right, Mr. Morrison, we can go off the record. If there's anything you need from the court, just let the probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always let us know and we'll address it in court. Do not leave though. Yes.
Can he, by attending school, discharge some of those 100 hours of community service?
Let's see where we are and I'll see. Okay. All right. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will meet you in that breakout room. Yes.
I have one question. Is that on count 1 and count 2?
Yes. And I'm so sorry. Back on the records, counts 1 and counts 2 will run concurrently. And I will tell you previously what I had ordered once he was found guilty. I ordered that 1 and 2 would run concurrently, and there's to be no contact with Jesse Izagiri and Michael Izagiri. And so that still stands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mike Hernandez.
This is not my client, it was my oversight, Judge. In fact, I have an email on Friday that I was communicating with Ms. Mulliner about the discovery, and she was out sick that day, and she's going to upload the discovery beginning this week.
Okay. All right. So when it's set for court, you have to appear. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to issue a warrant because your attorney is telling me this is his fault, not yours. All right. So how much discovery is needed?
There may be some volumes, but I think a month or so, or
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this at the end of April. At that time, that's it. Discovery should be taken care of.
perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All righty. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Jaylen Zavala. All right, so today is plea deadline date.
Well, Judge, this is our first setting. She was just indicted on December 11th.
No, for the DWI
With
case?
child?
Yeah, it was set on December 17th, so this is the second setting.
Oh, okay. Well, Your Honor, I still don't have the THC labs. I'll need to request those from the discovery portal. I was under the impression that with a December indictment, this would have been our first setting. So I did receive an offer this morning from Mr. Garahan,
Okay,
and I'll need to discuss that offer with my client and the implications that it might impose on any sort of driving.
all right. How old are you?
23.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this in 30 days for a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
It'll be February 13th.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, it will be February 13th. There'll be no further plea deadline dates. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
I even got beat up on YouTube in this court. Yeah, they
I
had
don't
me
even
on
know
YouTube.
what you're talking about.
My son was watching the YouTube. He said, Dad, they're killing you. I'm like, the judge is being hard on me for no reason.
Oh, you're so funny. Now I know you're not being
I,
honest.
it was true. I'm like, I'm right. I'm right. She's like, hammering it. My son's like, damn, this is a bad look. This is a bad look.
See, your son agrees with me. How's,
And she-
how's everybody doing?
She had everybody's well. Just boys got these followers like she got these like MAGA followers.
Ah,
He do. That's like, but everybody's doing well.
that's good. All right, Carrie Lampkin. All righty. So where are we on discovery?
I reviewed the file. I believe the state has uploaded some discovery. I'm not certain that it's all there with what's in the file, but we have received some discovery. We've been able to review whatever it is that they've sent us. I think that we might have received all the discovery. I'm just not 100%.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ferguson, 30-day reset for discovery. All right, it'll be February 13th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And I don't hold it against you that your attorney was trying to give me a hard time.
Judge Mash, is the 17th available or not?
Norma, is the 17th available? Are you available for, see what he's doing? Are you available for the 17th?
Make it happen.
No, if you're not, we'll keep it on the 13th.
He says I'm on.
17th.
All right, we'll see you all back on the 17th.
Okay,
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. You have to tell your wife I said hello.
I will.
I can't believe your children are like starting college and all of
No,
this.
my oldest is a junior in college.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my other one's a sophomore in college. So yeah.
Wow. So are they at the same schools or different?
No, my oldest goes to PB,
Mhm.
and then my other one goes to Houston Christian University.
Oh.
Yeah, so one's
So
a
did
Christian
they-
university and one's not.
So the question, did they just say, hey, we're not going to the same school?
Yeah, my younger daughter, they're a little different.
Mm.
They think different about things. And so she's like, she ain't going there. My oldest daughter's like, that's my school.
Aw.
Yeah, but as long as they got scholarships, I'm good.
Oh, there you go. So you have one more?
Hmm?
Your son?
Oh, my son's, he's 13.
Yeah.
He'll be going to high school next year. So he's doing well. He's part of YOSA Youth Orchestra San Antonio. So they have a concert coming up this Sunday. So he's pretty
Awesome.
sharp. He's pretty sharp. All my kids are pretty sharp.
That's good.
Yeah. My youngest,
I know that comes from their mom.
yeah. My youngest, she played volleyball for college, but she decided that's her. She's done. She don't want to play no more. So.
Well, you know, that is rough on the knees and everything.
Yeah, it is. And then she's pre-med, so she's like wants to focus.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. Time goes by so quickly.
It does. It does. I look in the mirror all the time. I'm reminded of that.
But the key is, as my mom said, when you look in the mirror, do you recognize yourself? Or you're like, who's this stranger?
You know what? It's sometimes I go back and look at old photos. I'm like, that was just a few years ago. And you see how you look differently. You don't really think that you're changing.
You know what my mom says? My mom said people always act as though Mother Nature is bad. She's like, at least Mother Nature give you warning about her storms. Father Time just sneaks up on you.
So when I was watching the Jimmy Carter funeral,
Mhm.
George Bush, he looked old for the first time. I was like, wow. I hadn't seen him in a while. Like, he really looked old.
What time hit you?
Yeah.
But as long as you have your faculties and, you know, physically you're good,
You're
that's
good.
great.
Right, let me get inside.
Michael Vasquez. Court is calling 2023 CR 11257 State versus Michael Anthony Vasquez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense?
Catherine Valenzuela.
And are you Mr. Vasquez?
Yes.
You're charged with evading arrest or detention second or more as a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. They're asking that your punishment be assessed under 1244. They're taking in consideration 2024 PF 28103 and 2024 PF 28104. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, sir.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have been no.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client asked that the court follow the sentencing and that he be allowed to serve his time in Bear County Jail.
All right, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 6 months in the Bear County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2024 PF 280, I'm sorry, PF 28103 and 2024 PF 28104. All right, we can go off the record. I see you have a medical bracelet on. What's going on?
I was in the hospital when I first came in.
All right, what were you in the hospital for, if you don't mind the court asking?
Well, I was kind of abused a little bit when I first came in, but it's all okay. I mean, I got tased and stuff.
All right, so here's the thing. Whatever your issues are, if they're mental health issues, if they're drug issues, and that's the reason why you keep coming before the court, you need to take care of those. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Yes.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Adalia Sabs, and this will be the last case before we take our recess. Court is calling 2024 CR 010075, State of Texas versus Adalia Sabs. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Joanne Akel.
And are you Miss Sabs?
Yes.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Sabs.
Sabs, okay. Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Sabs, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Your Honor, just, sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna orderly amend the indictment.
Okay.
In the portion it states namely, it doesn't put the name of the victim. And we're motioning the court to enter HEB.
I'm sorry,
HEB.
Okay,
We have no objection, Judge.
all right. All right, you understand, Ms. Sabs, that is a substantive change to the indictment? All right, and your attorney does have up to 10 days to review the changes that the state has made. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
All right. All right, then you reviewed count 1 with the addition of the complainant as HEB?
Yes.
All right, counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Sabs, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with theft of property, $2,500 with 2 or more convictions for purposes of enhancement? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Ms. Sabs, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
I have a question.
Yes.
When you said that if I was in my right mind, when that happened, is that what you're saying?
I'm asking, what I asked your attorney is whether or not you were competent. And competency has to do with the state of your mind today.
Oh, yeah.
So your attorney has told me that you were competent.
Yes.
Now, sanity has to do with your mental state at the time of the offense. And your attorney has told me that she believes you were sane at the time of the offense. So my question for you is this. Has anyone threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than what you've agreed to?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications for probation or community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? All right, if we could go off the record for a moment, could you mute us, please?
Yes, ma'am.
They keep telling me I need the glasses with the lines on them. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court is accepting that into evidence, states exhibits 1 and attachments. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and give you credit for any time served. All right, we can go off the record. If there's some mental health issues going on, they have free places for you. If you can't find a free place, you can come back here. I will help you navigate the system so that you can get help. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.